a charitable product, whereby I donated evenings at my art flat, donated it to charities, and the charities auction these evenings up in their black tie-dos in the West End. And it was the product is a champagne and canapé evening for 12 people, where they come and see the art. I entertain them. I have a private chef that comes in the flat, and I talk about the art. And I did this, and each evening helped raise the charities between £15,000 and £5,000 per evening. And I started getting some very interesting characters coming through the door. You know, some people who just wanted the champagne and sushi, but lots of people who were interested in the art.
I think it's a fabulous story. I think our viewers are going to be intrigued, and I'm hoping that so many people will want to support charitable good causes, and at the same time will want to come and meet you and have an evening of sort of a VIP experience with a chef, canapes. I don't really drink champagne anymore,
right?
But I do like the odd tequila. But so how long have you been doing this?
So obviously I was stunted a little bit. I was just getting onto a roll.
COVID.
But of course we had the dreaded COVID.
Yeah.
So just when I was getting onto a roll, I sold some nice pieces. I got a bit of cash in the till.
Yeah.
You know, I started to convert some of the pictures that were under my snooker table. You know, my wife was happy because she could actually see
shopping.
That I was actually doing something worthwhile. We had the dreaded COVID. But you know what? I went back to my consultant, Elizabeth Smith, and I said, look, however great the collection of art that I've got here, the biggest weakness of the collection is that the photographer, the artist, William John Kennedy, is not a famous photographer. He's not a well-known photographer. So I said, let's try and make him more well-known.
Yeah.
You know, let's move him up the leagues. You know, like get him from the Division 5, get him up to Division 4, Division 3, and try and get him in the top league. And when people understand who he is, then obviously that will create more interest for people to see my art, especially as we come out of COVID.
So
what we did is we approached, she approached various book publishers, and we found a fantastic coffee table book publisher who specialises in art. And the publisher is a company called ACC Book Publishing. Yeah. And here we are. This is the book which was called William John Kennedy, and it's called The Lost Archives. And this tells the story of all the images that I have in the art.
May I have a look?
Yes, of course. It's a beautiful book, very colourful, and it tells the story of all the images. And this book has been sold all around the world. You can buy it on Amazon. I think it's £30 retail.
There's some naked ladies in here. That's taken me a bit by surprise. Ultraviolet.
Yeah.
Hello, Ultraviolet. You're a beautiful lady.
No, it's a great book. We're very, very proud of it. It's forwarded by Patrick Moore, and Patrick Moore is the CEO of the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. And that brings me on to the next part of our story, because the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh got to hear about these images of Andy Warhol. I mean, we've got the prize image.
Yes.
It's sitting in front of us here.
So,
do you want me to tell you the story of
please,
this one? Yes.
Educate me. It's I can see some amazing, interesting things.
So this the story behind this image is that William John Kennedy was a friend of Andy Warhol and Warhol Indiana, and he was working with them in the early 60s before they were famous.
Yeah.
And they were all commercial photographers. They were making their money doing adverts, holiday adverts for products. Mm-hmm. You know, they weren't the famous iconic pop artists what they are today.
Yeah.
And one day he walked into the factory in New York, and he said to Andy Warhol, what have you been doing today? And Andy Warhol said, what do you think of this? And he unrolled this is the original transparent acetate of Marilyn Monroe, and because it was transparent, the face of Andy Warhol could be seen looking through the transparency, and the photographer caught the image of Andy Warhol looking through the Marilyn acetate. Such a moment in time, because this was an era where before Andy Warhol was famous, one thing, and also it's the first time this Marilyn image had ever been seen. You know, the world hadn't seen it, and now this image of Marilyn is probably the most iconic image in the art world. Recently, the blue Marilyn, I think, was sold in Christie's in Los Angeles for £200 million. $200 million, an amazing amount. And Christie's, who sold it, the only reference they had of how this Marilyn was made was from the William John Kennedy picture. Because here, this transparency, they had this picture, and this was the only reference of the original transparency. So again, this image became very important.
Beautiful. I mean, her lips, her eyes, just everything.
If you see in this left-hand corner here,
yeah.
Paul, you can tell everyone what number is that. Can you see what number that is?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a closer
look.
What
number do you think it is? What number do you think it is?
What I was going to say, this is number 16, but it's not. It's number 42. Why 42 out of 60? I was going to guess 16.
No, number 16 is on the wall there. But
I'm even more confused. 16, 42.
This 42. Was another. Do you remember I said I was buying more images? Yeah. Anyway, each one is numbered, and each one is signed by the photographer. Like I said, going back to the story, the museum got to hear about these images, and they loved them. And what they wanted to do is they said, how can we get involved? So out of the 100 images, they picked the best 5. They picked the best 5, and they created what they call the Andy Warhol Museum box set.
Wow.
And they made 50 box sets, and these box sets were sold in Art Basel in 2012.
So let's say someone wanted to buy this particular picture, how much would I be looking at today?
So today,
if I want number
so if 42, you wanted to buy this number 42 in the art flat today, it is £60,000. As a ballpark figure, the images, the in price is £5,000, and they go up to £100,000, which are the box sets, and all the other images fall in between. So that's you know, if you were to buy an original Warhol, you're talking millions, tens of millions. This is a fantastic way to have a bit of Andy Warhol art, all certified with a great story, with a book behind it, at a reasonable price. And that they're investments, because as I said, as the name William John Kennedy, he's climbing the ladder. As he's climbing the ladder, he will get to, now that the Andy Warhol Museum recognise him, there's books all around the world, he will become more of a household name. As he becomes more of a household name, all these arts will become more of investments.
Well done.
So I think I've explained how the art flat is involved. I've told you about my charity endeavours. The other way that I promote the art is through meeting people like yourself, who have access to high net worth individuals who obviously like their art. And what I'm offering is, I'm offering private VIP viewings to come if people are visiting London and they want to come and see some of this art, if they're interested.
They can bring
in what
some
I've
friends,
said.
a group of
they can give me a call.
Yeah.
They can come here for 30 minutes, an hour, before they go out for dinner, before they go to the theatre. It's a lovely way to see some art and have access to it.
And what sort of group numbers for champagne and canapes?
The champagne and canapes, I do the evenings are for 12.
Yeah.
But I also do individual private viewings, or I can do viewings for 5, 6, 7, 8 people. All depends. I'm open to speak to people, and yeah, I'm here most of the time. I set up my property offices here in my art flat, and that's another reason why I use the art flat for my property as well as my art.
Fantastic.
So my art is my Saturday job. I love it. You know, there's great stories behind all the images, but that, I think I've told the story how the art flat has evolved.
Fantastic. So everyone, thank you as always for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notifications button below, and we can all come and visit this wonderful, wonderful experience at the art flat. It's an exclusive experience. Reach out to Neil in the links below, and thank you so much, Neil, for sharing this with us.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.